proceed. We have a really impressive library of material that can be utilized by both the student and the educator. In addition to the tutorials built into the software itself, users can access everything we've ever developed online. This includes the material the Learning Media Development team creates, all of our classroom material, all of our on-demand courses, even our post-secondary material, and everything is easy to access and of course free of charge. Teachers at all levels of education are required to follow a defined curriculum. So what's curriculum? It's basically the content that students will learn throughout a course of study in school. To support the delivery of that curriculum, educators will often include projects or activities within their lesson plans. Now this does several things, but most importantly, it promotes collaboration between students and gives them something to work towards, usually resulting in an end-of-year project or some sort of exam. The challenge is once the curriculum is established, teachers, especially in post-secondary education, tend to stick with the same material year after year, only making adjustments when absolutely necessary. They're creatures of habit. They don't like change. The same holds true for many of us. Now, this isn't true for all educators, but more often than not, this is the primary reason an educator may not want to move away from the software they've been using in class for years. They know it well. All their material is based around it. So we have a problem. Now, Siemens understood this when we sought to create our own curriculum. We wanted to develop something that would, in the case of secondary education, adhere to all the known educational standards and requirements to ensure it would get approved and used in most schools. So that's exactly what we did. We worked with former educators with a lot of experience creating authentic, project-based curriculum. And what each of them delivered was something educators can feel confident adopting in their own classroom. And that's the purpose of these slides, to show that we've mapped our curriculum to the appropriate solution. The content is all there. It's of high quality, it's rigorous, and it's available at no cost. The same cannot be said for all of our competitors and certainly some of the companies that focus on curriculum development. And in many cases, it's out of reach for some schools because it's so expensive. Of course, in addition to our high school level curriculum, we also have material suited for post-secondary education that is obviously more challenging and created with the appropriate level of difficulty in mind for students of college age. There's a wide range of engineering concepts covered, and it's done so over the course of a semester-long class. However, not all of our learning material is strictly educational. We understand the need for help learning the software itself, and we provide that in self-paced courses in both our commercial and academic, to both our commercial and academic customers. Our Learning Media Development team, the group responsible for creating the documentation for Solid Edge, has developed a wide-ranging set of training courses that students and educators are free to use and access to brush up on their technical skills. The training modules are all accessible online or accompanied by materials that can be printed out for those of us who still like hard copy. And in academia, that's a lot of us. So it's good to know that option is there. Our free Solid Edge for Education and Community Library, located within the Siemens Learning Center, includes a comprehensive library of on-demand learning materials covering everything from basic sketching techniques to advanced product design topics. This library enables students to learn the Solid Edge software in short, topical lessons that can be used for self-paced learning or incorporated into instructor-led lessons plan. This is really a strength of ours, the amount of content that's available to users of the software. And I highly recommend, as should you, pointing students and educators in this direction. Students participating in Solid Edge focused teaching can also participate in the Solid Edge certification program. This enables them to qualify for globally recognized certification levels that validate their skills, which can also be used in support of future employment opportunities. There are 3 levels of certification currently offered. Associate Level 1, which is actually was created for students between ages 16 and 18. And it actually also serves as the end-of-year assessment for one of our curriculum packets. Upon successful completion of the exam, students are emailed a certificate that they can add to their resumes and/or college applications. We also offer an Associate Level 2 exam. This one was intended for older students within colleges, universities, and vocational and apprenticeship programs, but that's not to say that high school students can't take it. In fact, we know many high school students who have taken all 3 exams and passed. The Associate Level 2 exam helps potential employers recognize the abilities of students who use Solid Edge effectively, enabling them to recruit with confidence. Both of these certification exams, by the way, levels 1 and 2, are available at no cost. Then, of course, we have a professional level. This was intended primarily for users who have already built up a high level of skill and experience with Solid Edge. These users can take the online exam and qualify as a Solid Edge certified professional. Once again, this is a fantastic level of exam certification that these younger students should strive for. So we highly recommend, once they've garnered the experience, to try to advance through all 3 exams. There is, by the way, a cost associated with the professional level exam. Educators will sometimes want to know what academic competitions and other associations we're involved in, and that's good because we've aligned ourselves with many over the years and not just the ones we're highlighting in this slide. FIRST Robotics is probably the most well-known, certainly here in the U.S., but as you can see, our involvement with academic competition spans the globe, covers multiple engineering disciplines, and allows Siemens and its partners to get involved not only as technology partners who provide software, curriculum, and certification, but also as volunteers, mentors, and judges. Now, due to COVID-19, many of these competitions were put on hold until 2021, or at least until it's safe to resume, but Siemens still continues supporting these organizations as they work towards returning to competition. The takeaway here from this slide is get to know what competitions and professional associations are active in your region, because we can certainly help you support them. In some cases, such as FIRST Robotics, we actually have curriculum and tutorials created specifically for that organization that walk students through designing a robot from scratch. And because, of course, this is part of the academic program, it's also available to students at no cost. So let's have a look at some success stories and the role Solid Edge has played in the lives of students and some of the schools around the world. Some of you may recall the 2019 story of Ashley Kimball, which was promoted globally by Siemens, but also broadcasted nationally here in the States. At the time of its release, Ashley was a 17-year-old high school student who used Solid Edge to help a veteran in her hometown by designing, testing, and building a lighter weight and more efficient prosthetic foot. It was a very inspiring story that garnered an immense amount of interest. We still get inquiries from schools, from customers, and even from Siemens employees who want to expose their own children to Solid Edge. Ashley now attends the University of Alabama at Birmingham, where she's majoring in biomedical engineering. But for her, it all started in 8th grade when she was exposed to Solid Edge by way of the Green Power Electric Car Challenge, which is one of the academic competitions Siemens supports globally. This next story was actually one I had the privilege of supporting along with several other direct Siemens employees and a local area channel partner in Mexico. There were several key players involved here. Siemens, of course, the Mexican Ministry of Public Education, channel partner PLN Del Norte, and several notable secondary and post-secondary schools. Now, the idea behind this collaboration between all these different entities was to drive workforce development in the region by using Industry 4.0 as a means of creating a platform at all levels of education. There were several OEMs that were driving the demand for skilled workers locally, and this was seen as a way to satisfy those needs. The biggest takeaway from this success story, in my opinion, really is the collaboration between academia, industry, and government. The Mezzo team deserves all the credit in the world for aligning these three and creating the ensuing ecosystem. But the opportunity was not without its challenges, the most glaring of which was the many universities that used technology other than Siemens, and of course the educators that weren't happy about making the change. But the Mezzo team was able to overcome this by implementing a train-the-trainer model at the school and getting them up to speed on the new software. Joaquin Amaro, the Siemens rep who drove this opportunity locally, used several other strategies to handle the remaining challenges. In no particular order, they were showing the value of Solid Edge certification for teachers and students. Big one right there. Emphasizing Siemens' focus and understanding of the digital twin, mapping our curricula and learning materials to our solutions, and the new Solid Edge academic bundle. And the result of all this was very impressive. Collaboration agreements were officially agreed to with the leading schools in all of Mexico, including an institution responsible for graduating the most STEM students in Latin America, as well as the largest technical high school in Mexico. The number of students and educators from that particular high school alone that will benefit from the partnership is extremely impressive, and we really look forward to seeing how this collaboration pays off in the near future. So a big congratulations to the Mezzo team and the channel partner PLN Del Norte for their efforts. Just a fantastic job.